Alright guys, this is my very first FSD version 14.1 video. I have been live streaming for the past day basically, but this is going to be the first video that I put together and talk about my thoughts. On the screen right now are the release notes. So I'm going to start self-driving right now and then maybe just talk about the release notes while we go. The first big thing you're going to notice though is to start FSD, the button looks a little bit different. So before you'd kind of press and hold FSD, now I literally am just going to tap the button and it will start. So touch, and it immediately starts FSD. We're also very close to a curb. Version 13 would struggle with that. It would say object and path, please take over to proceed. That's gone now. The car will drive on gravel. It will drive near the side without any issue. That's huge. That's so good to see. So it's a massive improvement. One thing that I want to test here is we're coming around the corner, and so we're going to go to Costco and we're going to test destination parking, and I want to kind of fake do a Banish thing where the car drops me off at the curb and then parks itself to kind of see how good destination parking is and prove that Banish is not far off. But on the way there, I'm going to force us to go through a school zone. I think, unfortunately, school zones aren't quite fixed yet, which is weird because I just watched a video, and for Chuck, slammed on the brakes and dry wiped. So I'm going to report that. I just had my camera cleaned by Tesla at Tesla service. So all the cameras are cleaned, everything's calibrated, but I have been having some issues with harsh kind of phantom braking, and the braking that it's doing is very analog, it's very on and direct. But anyways, so we're in a school zone. 30 kilometers an hour is the max. I would forgive 33 or 34. Anything above that is, in my opinion, too fast, and it feels like the car is willing to go 35. Chuck Cook posted a video where he went through, and with flashing lights on, the car went exactly 15 miles an hour. So I don't know why it's different for me, but I don't know. That said, speed bumps seem perfect. I have yet to go over a speed bump that FSD doesn't handle perfectly. So really good job there. And then yeah, overall smoothness and confidence from the vehicle is definitely refined. It's definitely better. There is the occasional phantom braking and jittering that is problematic, absolutely. I'm not trying to downplay that, but besides that, it's incredible how good it's doing. So I just changed the route because it was gonna park here, and I'm curious, the car very quickly realizes that it needs to get out of here because it's a dead end, and it's doing a really good job getting us out. So nice job there. Yeah, so when you go to a destination, when you plug one in, you can press this button and you can choose at destination, you can park, and then under park, oh weird. So I don't know why it does that sometimes. There was those options and I could have picked either one, and now that it's chosen parking lot, I can't change it. But anyways, for this, I actually want to go curbside because like I said, I want to pretend like this is a robo-taxi, or when Banish exists. So imagine the car drops you off curbside at Costco. You're gonna get out, and then you would press Banish, and the car would go find a parking spot. So we can kind of replicate that by going curbside, and then as soon as the car parks me curbside, I'm gonna then tell it to go to Costco again and park in the parking lot, and it will again do that autonomously, and we'll kind of see how very simply, if you stitch those two things together, you effectively have Banish. The difference is I have to be in the seat, but it shows you that the car is plenty capable of it. Okay, we're really good job here creeping out. Something that I've already seen the car do that's brand new to version 14 is, so in that scenario, we creeped out quite a ways to get good vision. We were doing that on a busier stretch of road, creeped out, and then cross traffic started coming from the left. And because we'd creeped out too far, the car threw itself in reverse and backed up 3 feet just to be in a safe spot. Okay, we are taking unprotected left here across 4 lanes. It's quite quiet, so it's this car, and I think we can go. Okay, there's 2 more cars coming. Whoa. Oh, crazy. Okay, that's the first time I've ever had that. The car pulled up for visibility. So it's really neat to see that kind of like interaction happening. I've seen that in the robotaxi. So it's very similar behavior. And yeah, so the speed profiles, there's 4 of them now. So there's chill, standard, and hurry, which is kind of what you'd expect. And the 4th one, oh, really good job. Flashing lights. We couldn't see those pedestrians, and the car slowed down. Oh, it slammed on the brakes. See, there's no reason for us to be stopped right now. I'm gonna autopilot snapshot. So very good that we slowed down for pedestrians. Really weird that we then slammed on the brakes in that intersection after the fact. I don't know why we would have done that. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to explain the 4 speed profiles. So there's chill, standard, and hurry. Kind of what you'd expect from FSD out of those 3 profiles. They feel like they do kind of what they did before. The new one is called sloth, and if you have that enabled, the car will never speed. So if the speed limit is 70, the car will go either 70 or below. It will never ever exceed the speed limit, which for some people I think is really great. The problem is here in Canada, at least, if you go just the speed limit everywhere, people are going to honk at you and get mad at you. So for those people that don't want to speed at all, that's great. I personally wish there was a speed profile, and I haven't found it yet, that does about 5 to 10 kilometers an hour over the speed limit roughly, and nothing more, because I don't want to go too fast and get a speeding ticket, but I don't want to go awkwardly slow and not fit in traffic. And so with this new speed profile settings, they've gotten rid of the speed offset. Like, I no longer, if I scroll this wheel, which used to change the speed off, like the max speed and min speed, this wheel now changes the driving profile. So you go from chill to standard to hurry. And what used to do that, before you'd go left and right on this to change the driving profile, does that as well. So you can, whoa. Did you see the wheel kind of do that weird thing there? That was strange. Yeah, so to change the driving profile, you can do the wheel, you can go left and right, or you can do it here. I would assume that in the future they'll make it so going left and right here does something different, because it seems strange to have the ability to do the same thing 3 different ways, all very similar. As well, under autopilot settings, everything is grayed out. The only thing you can do in 14.1 is FSD. Traffic aware cruise control, auto steer, or autopilot is gone. So version 14.1 only has full self-driving in it. I don't know why. I don't know what that hints to or means or alludes to, but yeah. And then actually Smart Summon is still here. Seemingly no changes to it from what I've gathered. I haven't spent a lot of time on it, but yeah, people are saying that it functions the same way. But here, you're not able to change the speed offset. Like normally you could say 5, 10, 15, 20%, that's gone. It's not here. Like that's all baked into the speed profiles and invisible to the end user. There's a bit of a pothole here. Oh, we avoided it anyways. I was curious because pothole detection is a part of this build. There just isn't many potholes here in BC that I've found to see if the car would avoid. But with that said, like, there's been objects on the road. The car's done a really good job going around. So it does feel like the car is much more capable to avoid things on the road. The reality is, and it may not seem like it, but FSD is so capable right now. It's doing basically everything, and it's doing it door to door with the press of a button. I'm just highlighting the kind of problems that exist or the new features, because even 13.2.9 could drive me basically everywhere without intervention. So version 14 is just improving upon that with a few new little like tweaks and issues that have come up, but don't take this to mean, because you're going to see this video and it's basically just going to highlight, like I said, the problems. That's not to say that this piece of software isn't good. While I'm talking, you're probably noticing dry wipes with the wipers are still definitely a thing. I've noticed it actually more in this version. Oh, definitely previous FSD would have ran that. I don't know for better or worse, but that ends up feeling like very harsh braking. So it seems like they've tweaked the way the car handles yellow lights. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. That was legal. It was probably safer than running a really stale yellow. It's just unexpected because version 13 would, in my opinion, have gone through that light. But version 13 at times was going through like stale yellows to the point that they were red as we're entering the intersection. So perhaps this is the better option. Okay, so we got a person walking here. We should slow down for them. Nice job. And then we're merging, and I would wait and then go after the Tesla here. So as soon as this car goes by. Perfect, and we're already starting to roll. That was great. Well done. Okay, unfortunately, well, it's fortunate. There's a lot of empty parking spots, so the car, I think, will have an easy time once we do, like, banish it to park to find a parking spot. But regardless, I hope what happens now is we're going to get dropped off near the front, and this kind of highlighting the idea that full self-driving could very easily have Banish implemented, because what it's going to do right now, it's going to navigate itself to the front door, curbside drop-off, and then we're really quickly going to toss it into parking lot mode, and it's going to search for a parking spot all on its own. I'm in the driver's seat, but you could see very easily how this would work in a world, and this is how Banish would function. Cool. So if it was me, I'd probably pull over somewhere here. We'll see what the car does. A lot of pedestrians. Perfect. People stop here all the time. You can say this is a fire lane. It absolutely is. But people stop here all the time. This, in my opinion, is a great spot to get dropped off. So I'm going to navigate to Costco again, and then I'm going to hit start, and it's in parking lot mode. So I've gotten out of the car is now banished, and let's see what it does, right? So you can kind of see what's happening here in a world where I'm out of the car, I open my app. I don't even have to open my app, maybe. The car just automatically goes into this mode after I close the door and walk away from it. So this is the car banishing itself, looking for a parking spot in a busy Costco parking lot. This is something that I thought was going to take way longer for Tesla to figure out, because there's so many like nuanced details with this. Like, I don't know, parking lots are tricky, but people do weird stuff all the time. There's vehicles doing, no, okay, that's too bad. So that didn't work. I'm going to hit it again, and I'm going to say, I'm going to highlight that. I'll hit Costco Langley, start full self-driving. We'll try that one more time here. I have had it do what just happened to me one other time, where it just parked in the middle of the road, basically thinking that that was good. But like 9 out of 10 times it's nailing parking, so that's why I was so confident that it was going to work. And it definitely feels like it has more confidence in its way to maneuver through here. I hope we go left and not just in this infinite circle or stopping here again, because that would be unfortunate. Like, I'm hoping that its thought process is, oh, I can't, okay, left, right, great. Like it should go deep into the parking lot to look for a parking spot. And then another thing I'm interested in, like this person, one in front of the Lexus, is waiting for a parking spot. This Lexus is going to go around this person. I hope we do the same. That would be very human-like. Okay, great. Okay, patrolling, looking for a spot. Amazing. The fact that we're going right is incredibly human-like. Like we've gone down those roads. Now we're going right. This is potentially a problem. There's a spot there, but this guy's going to take it, right? Okay. Is he? Oh, he's not. We're taking it. There you go. So Costco parking, like a little bit of a hiccup at the start, but like this shows you what it can do. Boom. Nose in, parked. Okay, so let's just do that one more time. We're going to go to Best Buy. Really confident pulling out of this parking spot. Like there's cars everywhere. And it's like, no, I need out. I'm going to back out of here. Hopefully it doesn't do some weird little double turn. No, okay, nice job. So same thing. I'm going to tell it to go curbside. And then once it goes curbside, I'm going to like banish it to park. That behavior, what it just did, like how it backed out and got out, is completely new. Like version 13.2.9, if you would have started FSD from park there, I don't think it would have ever even backed out. I think it would have just sat there forever. Okay, we got a standoff here. This person wants that spot. This guy is refusing to move. Okay, nice job. I feel like the speed that we move through parking lots now feels much closer to what a human being would drive through. Whereas on 13.2.9, I almost always took over because, yeah, the car could technically like navigate, but it was not lifelike. Like it felt very awkward and it felt like you were sticking out. This is great. This feels, the person behind us was quite a ways behind us. They weren't tailing us, waiting for us to move along. Speed bump? Yeah, that was a speed bump. That was a very weird speed bump. The car technically missed it, but it was also just a weirdly placed, bizarre speed bump. But I will snapshot that. Okay, so let's see how Banish works at Best Buy. So we have the car going to park at destination curbside. So the idea here is going to be we're going to get dropped off in front of Best Buy, and then I'm going to immediately route it to park. If it was me, I would go just a little bit further, because this is this is the front of the store, though. I guess sure, whatever. We got dropped off by a cab in front of Best Buy. So now I'm going to do Best Buy, start, and it's going to go park. So I've gotten out of the car. The car is now banished to park itself. Let's see what it does. And I will say the auto park by Full Self-Driving 14.1 is much faster and feels a lot smoother than auto park if you were to like select a spot and auto park. Cool. So there you go. That's effectively Banish working. That's us getting dropped off in front of a Best Buy and then the car driving on its own and parking itself. Okay, so we'll just head to the mall because it'll be a little bit busier there. So let's see what it does here. So I have TNT parking lot is what we have selected. Okay, we should just go. Nobody around. Oh, slamming on the brakes, slamming on the brakes. I think for people, I don't know. I don't know why I did that. I'll snapshot it though. Okay, coming to a full stop, and then I would just immediately go. Nice job. Something I just want to touch on before we get to the parking lot here is I am very critical of full self-driving, but I also give it a ton of like accolades and credit where credit's due. Like I often say how amazing this software is. Full self-driving is unlike anything else in North America. We're kind of jittering on the brakes there. So when I'm critical of it and talk about its issues, I'm not trying to like cause problems. I'm just also don't want to be like completely unbiased and ignorant to the fact that this isn't perfect yet. Like version 14 is really, really good, but it has flaws. And me talking about them, I'm really not trying to like throw shade at Tesla or discredit everything they're doing. I'm confused that our left turn signal is on though. Okay. We're ignoring the routing, which I'm okay with, I guess. I don't know why, but that's fine. Okay, so for this one, I'm not doing curbside. Just straight away, you'll see the behavior if you have parking lot selected. So in this situation, we should creep into the intersection. Perfect, really good job here. And then once we get through, the car should just straight away look for a parking spot. Okay, I would go after the Cybertruck, which is exactly, looks like what it's doing. Nice job. Cool. All right, so we've arrived at our destination. Let's see what the car does for parking. That guy kind of came out, and so the car like jittered the brakes, but that was fair. I wasn't sure if he was going to stop either. Okay, spot's right there. We're gonna back in, it looks like. Yeah, the fact that it's doing these parking jobs like with the confidence that it is as quickly as it is really, really impressive. So yeah, amazing, really well done. The last one I'll show, since we're close to it, is a supercharger. So if you select supercharger, hit start full self-driving, you'll see here right away it says at destination charger. So it knows that it's going to a supercharger, and it will seemingly every single time back into the charger. The interesting thing that happened, I'm putting it on hurry by the way. The interesting thing that happened while I was filming, I'll put a video up right now, is we got to this exact supercharger. Maybe it'll happen again, but 1D, like the stall 1D and 1C, I think it was, are marked as being out of order. And so the car knows that, it said it, but then FSD pulled in and it backed us into stall 1D. So an edge case for sure, however you want to word it, but there was other chargers available and it chose the one that was out of order. So 1B and 1D are out of order. So this is 1B and that's 1D. I'm curious if the car knows to not put us there. So 1B and 1D are, we braked, are unavailable. What are we parked at? 1D. Okay. So we are parked at the out of order stall. So just something to know, that although yes, it can park at a charger, it doesn't discern which charger is and isn't out of order, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then this is new too. You can see, so there's like a faint blue glow under the car. That's definitely representing the fact that the car is like in full self-driving. So even when the car is stopped, you're aware of that being the case. Because before, when you're stopped, the blue tentacle goes away and the car just looks like a regular human-driven vehicle. Okay, and then for those of you watching, if there's anything else you want me to test, just let me know in the comments. I'm trying so desperately to find a pothole to showcase that. I'm also really trying to be near emergency vehicles, because I would love to see that. I've seen a couple videos of it working flawlessly, and it's just incredibly impressive. So that clearly works, and it's really cool. And then tomorrow I'm going to go downtown Vancouver because I have some jobs near there, and I'll spend some time hopefully going to like parking garages and things like that to see how the car handles itself down there. But if there's anything else at all that you want to know, let me know. And any of you watching, if you subscribe, that's great. Thank you so much. It means a lot to the channel. Something that hasn't really happened yet on this drive, but is interesting. The car seems way more obedient to, it kind of just happened there actually. It seems really obedient to not changing lanes mid-intersection, and it really doesn't want to change lanes over solid white lines like that. There's times where it feels like it's trying to do it because like old code is telling it to do that. I know there's not code, or not code in the way that I'm saying, but it feels like it wants to do that, and then some new logic is like, no, you can't cross solid white lines, and it will like jitter itself back. And just back there, like the car wanted to change lanes while we went through that intersection, and then the car was like, no, we can't actually do that. So it is interesting to see that. Yeah, so see, out of order, stall 1D. So this exact same stall is still out of order. I'm curious if the car will try and park there again. Oh, no, they won't, because Tesla service is parked at it fixing it. So I can tell you they won't. Yeah, so that's where the car parked earlier. I'm probably going to park beside him, though, it seems like. Cool, so that shows you that with FSD, the press of a button, the car takes you to the charger, backs you in at the stall. Really well done. Nice. Okay, I think that'll be the end of the video. If it continues, it's because I maybe found some fun little edge case on my way back home, but I'm going to end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, see you on the next one. Okay, well, I'm going to obviously show that because that's a little bit interesting. I don't know what it was doing there. Huh. I don't know if it was trying to avoid something. That was really weird. Okay, we are coming up to a road closure here. The navigation wants to go straight. I'm curious what FSD is going to do. I hope and assume that it will just turn around. That would be perfect if it spun around and then got us home after the fact with a new route, which is exactly what it's doing. Amazing. So that's pretty much exactly what you'd want and expect from a situation like this. We came down a road. I honestly didn't know this road was going to be closed. And instead it spun itself around, and now we have a new route to get home. Like you can see, we're taking a new line to get home. So that was perfect. Really well done.
Constant stream of checks for life.
February 28th, and the prize patrol is in Cottage Grove, Oregon.
Okay. I snapshotted that. I don't know what that behavior is. It's weird and it's new, and it's this like strange indecisiveness when it goes to change lanes and then like swerve back. I don't know. I've had it do that a couple times now to me, and I don't know exactly the like what. There was no cars behind us coming up.
We started to talk about saving for college fund for our kids.
Right.
We did have a rainy day fund, but we planned on kind of like, okay, we've done some big trips. We're going to get paid this year. This is our plan for the month.
This shows me the issue with Sloth, by the way. The speed limit here isn't 30, it's 50, but it's misread the speed limit, and so it was only gonna go 30 and a 50 zone because of the way the profile works, that it like takes what it thinks is the speed limit as like gospel. So right now we're going 30 on a road that's 60, and it misread this speed sign, which is weird. We just passed it, hit 60. It read it properly this morning, but now we're going 40 and a 60. But yeah, that's my issue with Sloth mode at the moment.